Alright, here I am with the old 2002 Toyota with the 2AZ engine. Got aluminum block and aluminum heads. Design flaw Toyota, the last three, the back three head bolts. Some kind of metallurgical issue with the aluminum in the block, the threads won't hold. So the last three, or the back three head bolts, pull the threads out and then they start leaking. The head gasket starts leaking at the back, leaking to the outside. So this morning, after I flushed it real good, made sure all the antifreeze is out, I added 2 bottles of Bear's True Blue head gasket sealer. Now most 4-cylinders you only use 1 bottle. But because this is an aluminum block and aluminum heads, much like the Cadillac General Motors North Star engine, you had so many problems with head bolts backing out. The owners of Bear's True Blue recommend using 2 bottles. So it's on its run cycle right now, which is 80 minutes. It's got 2 bottles of Bear's head gasket sealer in it, in the radiator, and then I topped it off with clear water. And it's been running now for, I don't know, about, let's see, it's been running for about 10 minutes or so, I guess. We're waiting to see. The engine is running about 1250 RPMs like they suggest, or as close as I can get it. Well, it's a little more like 1400, but I'll back it off a little bit, but it's real hard to get the throttle set. Anyway, I'll be back. Got to adjust that RPM down a little bit. Okay, now I've got to adjust it a little bit better. A little bit above 2, but not quite 4, so it's between 1250 and 1300 or somewhere around there. So back to the weight. See, I think you can see this, the steam that's coming out of the tailpipe right now. So anyway, we'll see. Been running about a little over 10 minutes now. Got an hour and 10 minutes to go. Then we shut it off, we drain everything, we flush the radiator, make sure we get all the head gasket sealer chemicals out of the radiator, and then we let the car sit for 24 hours. And that's supposed to seal it up. They've never had a customer complain or anything else. A lot of people have used it, over 1,000 people I think he said, and they've never had a complaint. So got my fingers crossed. I hope this will work. Well, the fan's just turned on, so I thought I'd check, make sure it's not running hot. That's where it's supposed to run all the time, but that's not where it's been running. Go all the way up into overheat stage and then come back down and fluctuate all around. But anyway, I've got a pretty significant leak in the head gasket now. So much so that the coolant just bubbles in the radiator. And when I removed the cap for the oil filler yesterday, see if I can do it again. You can hear it blowing back through. Hear it? Pretty bad. Never seen one that bad. But the cooling fans are on, so that means it's up to operating. See, the fans are on, so we're waiting. I guess I can say, I won't mention any names, but I tried a previous head gasket sealer that's supposed to work. Everybody, you know, swears by it. Mechanics supposed to swear by it. It works, all this kind of stuff. Well, it didn't work for mine. And I'll tell you, when I tried the other one, I don't think the head gasket leak was as bad as what it is now. So I flushed all that out. I will say the other head gasket sealer is in a blue bottle, sells in a quart bottle, so I just used a half a quart because that's what they recommended. But the company's good, they're honoring their warranty, at least I think they are. I filed a claim, sent their claim and the receipt, so we'll see if they refund my money that I paid for the other head gasket sealer. So anyway, we're back to waiting. Well, I finished the run cycle. Car started heating up, so I had to put the hose on the radiator, and it still wasn't cooling down as much as I thought it should. So therefore, I felt the upper heater hose, or the upper radiator hose, and realized it wasn't as hot as it should be. And then it dawned on me that the radiator was probably mostly out of coolant. And sure enough, I opened the radiator cap, and it all the pressure that had built up in there from the head gasket or whatever, you know, spewed back at me. Unfortunately, I found, you know, it was kind of pinkish, so that means there was still some glycol in it. But anyway, I was able to pour some clear water back in it and finish the run cycle. That was at about an hour, and then it didn't run hot anymore. So it was down on coolant is what it was. So it's, well, I got to say, it's Friday night after I've applied the stop leak. Just started the car, took the radiator cap off, and there's a few bubbles coming out, but I think that's coming out of the block. It's definitely not burping and spitting and spewing like it was before I put the Bear's True Blue gasket, head gasket sealer in it. I don't have any white smoke coming out the tailpipe. Be honest with you, I was kind of scared to start it because I wasn't real sure it was going to work. But I gotta say, my head gasket was in pretty bad shape, and if it sealed mine, it'll seal almost anything. I would say anything short of a cracked block, cracked head. I know it's dark, but this is just pretty remarkable, people. I tell you, my name's Neil Von Allman, and today is March the 16th, and it's about 7:28 or so, 7:23 p.m. and it worked. Bear's True Blue head gasket sealer. It's the shiznit, man. No kidding. Get some. Okay, here I am, still on Friday night, March the 16th. It's about 8:15 now. Car's been out in my driveway for, I don't know, 20 minutes or so, trying to warm it up. I've just been driving along neighborhood, you know, city roads or whatever. And that is exactly where the thermostat, or excuse me, that's exactly where the heat gauge is supposed to be. So I'm getting ready to get on the highway and run it up to about 70-75 miles an hour, and about 5 miles down the road and see what happens. So we'll see. This stuff is unbelievable. Talk to you later. Okay, just a few minutes later, you can see my speedometer is just about 5 miles off at this speed, so I'm really doing about 70 miles an hour, which is the speed limit. You can see the temperature needle is still right where it's supposed to be, and there's the speed limit sign there, 70 miles an hour, which is what I'm doing. You couldn't really make it out, but let's wind it up a little bit because there's usually no cops out here. So let's push it up to, there's 75, there's 80, there's 90, which is a lot faster than I should be going, but you see the temperature needle's still where it's supposed to be. So steady 90 miles an hour or 85 miles an hour. So I'll back it back down now. But Friday night, good news for a Friday night. I'm gonna sign off now. Pay attention to what I'm doing. Good night.